What are you standing up for?
If I sit down, we're told to say it when we're I think it well. It's the nearest church we ought to get out afterwards, would it?
Yeah.
Sit would you like, I'll remain standing so I can project, because I'll be asked to speak loudly. First of all, can I welcome the new councillors here? Thank you very much. And as you're new, we haven't learned your names yet, so if you wish to speak, could you say your name first, so everyone can record down your name to what you're saying. And as Richard's pointed out, it's actually tonight's going to be slightly unusual, but what we're going to do is do the town's meeting first, so we can reflect on the last year, and then move into the council's agenda straight away. So on this one, this side of it is a little bit more informal. There's no apologies for absence or declarations of interest. So first of all, I'm going to give my report as mayor for the last year. And I suppose it's only right that I start this report with the end of the term, because at that point it would be right to celebrate the life of my predecessor, which was Councillor Chris Ross, who died on Good Friday. For those new here and don't know him, he was a founder member of this council. In fact, it's the reason why, one of the reasons why he's sitting around this table in the first place, because he, if you like, made sure the council met again. And he spent long terms in office in here. It's one of the reasons why I'm here as well, because both of us used to wander the corridors of QMC. We weren't paid just to wander the corridors, I hasten to add. I met him there, we would nod and smile, and then he'd say, you're from Stapleford, aren't you? Bit spooky that, but that shows his powers of observation, or just being plain nosy, whichever way you want to look at it. And oh yeah. And every now and then, especially with other patients from Stapleford as well, he'd chat away as to what was happening in Stapleford. I found this a bit unusual because I'd come to learn that not many people were passionate about Stapleford, but he would give little snippets of what was going on and tell excitedly about what the news were in there, and then we just move on. Of course, he was too modest to say he was a councillor. He didn't say where he was getting this information on. And do excuse my naivety, I didn't realise people like hospital porters and nurses became councillors. I thought perhaps it's some sort of full-time job. I was politically unaware, if you like. So I was a bit surprised and got more interested in what he was doing. And those of you who attended his funeral will know just how much Stapleford meant to him. I mean, it was a bit of a shock to me to see how many of our photographs were up there on the screen. It really caught me, I've got to say. But that shows that Stapleford ran through him like a stick of rock, really. Yeah. So, yeah, it was... so that's what sparked my interest, and it proves that a quiet, gentlemanly man can have just as much influence as us noisy devils in sort of influencing other people to do things. So if I had a glass of wine, I'd say to Chris, but I haven't, so I'll just say to Chris. I was deputy to his mayor. I've got to say, he also laughed in the first 2 weeks. He once went to the wrong event. I had to help him up over the hill near the health centre. I've got to say, he worried me because I thought he was going to collapse me at that point. So I helped him a bit with his duties. The person who helped him a lot more was Councillor Richard McRae there, and certainly moving about the town on different duties, so thanks for that. And certainly there'll be a big Chris-shaped hole in this table in the future. So I'll go on to the Mayor's duties, and the current duties. I'm not going to go through each one because that's going to be infinitely boring, so I'm going to do it into 3 categories: civic, representation and recognition. The civic ones, I mean, the previous town clerk apologised to me for the lack of invitations, especially in civic roles as councils are striving to save expenditure. And I suppose that's right in a way. Some of these civic events might not mean very much to the people who have to pay for them, the taxpayers. But I think there's still a place for them. I've come to learn. For example, the civic service at Southwell Minster, or Southwell Minster, depending on which one way you want to say it, was really impressive. I've never been inside the Minster I'm sorry about that. And it might seem to be like a facade of civic pomp, but the important thing was the networking afterwards. I mean, Stapleford's not an island. We need to get on with the councils that are around us. So it was a really important way of getting on with folk around us. And then there was the Broxtowe Charity Mayor's Ball. He laughingly, your predecessors laughingly called it the chain gang, but it made a lot of money for two charities that are very worthwhile and served the area very well. The other thing that hardly gets brought up by mayors is a completely different skill set, and that is a chair of council. And and in my case, it coincided with Izzy here, our new town clerk, and we only had each other to verify procedure, and as Richard points out tonight, sometimes we've got that very wrong, which I can only apologise, but we were well put on the right track by very experienced councillors. Thank you very much for that. But there was a positive aspect to this, in that our meetings had a little less formality about them, which allowed for a better flow of ideas. To my mind, that's just my opinion. And the councillors allowed me as chair to be able to pose questions. Because let's face it, when a question comes up, you've got to answer the question, the whole question, but nothing but the question. You can't get tangential and go outside it. So I think there may be a way of changing things slightly to make sure the meetings mean something more. And I think we need to have the town meeting, or I can only implore a future administration, to concentrate on what we can do as well as what we can't do. Of course, the right checks and balances have to be there. Then the next was representation, and I came to learn from people who, in Stapleford, that people are proud that this is a discrete area with its own identity. And this is more important than I first thought it was when I started. For example, you've got the Christmas and Play Day events. They're always massively well attended and a good use of money. And especially that those two events are heavily involved with children and bringing them up in the right way. And the thing I think that really stands out in my mind is the First World War Remembrance event. If anybody ever gets to see, for example, the Swan and Canaries do their bit about Chewell, really is brilliant. But even down to a very minor thing, what you think is minor at first, and our own hero in Stapleford, Sir Walter Parker, there's a painting done by a recently serving soldier, so that link from the past to now, that meant a lot as well. And certainly at that event when we held it, there was a dignitary from outside the area who looked around and says, "Wow, you guys put on a feel-good team. You couldn't see to the edge of the crowds from where we were standing." That was a brilliant event. Of course, the guys put up the poppies. You know who you are. That was a brilliant thing to do. It sort of primed people to what was going on. The amount of questions we had, what are these poppies doing up? So it's a really way to do things. The other representations can be things outside Stapleford. And I was asked, or rather, I think my dog was asked to open the dog show at Treetops Hospice. I had to go along to look after them, do things dogs that you have to do. And that made a lot of money for Treetops Hospice, which, as we sadly come to know, is used a lot by many people in Stapleford, because although it's outside our county, that was well worth going to. Recognition. Okay, this can be split into places and people. I attended the Bramcote Tower and Cemetery Bell openings and judged the garden competitions, and if you like, that's trying to improve the fabric of Stapleford, which I think we all agree we need to do. And these celebrate the efforts of those who are trying to take pride in the town. But people get recognition too, and the pleasant and essential role of the mayor is to thank and celebrate those who are very unlikely to get an OBE or MB. They thoroughly deserve them. As particularly thanks go to those unsung heroes that instill positive actions in the young in their own time. We see all too often the lads going around on their scooters, but that's not the younger Stapleford from what I've seen. They're all there. They're all there. For example, the Air Training Corps, Boys and Girls Brigade, the young gardeners at the allotment shows. Stapleford Town Football Club. They're all very different groups, but they've all got that one factor in common, that they've got people that are willing to bring folk on. Yeah, that's brilliant to see. So it started out by saying, oh, there's not many events, but actually the events came, and I've got to particularly thank the councillors Richard McRae and John McGrath for asking different groups to consider asking the mayor along. I think some people think that mayors are unapproachable and won't go along to things, but if it's appropriate, then can I ask the new councillors to, if they're involved with different groups, to think about it, because it makes you look visible, relevant and approachable. My wife's not here, but I'm going to finally thank my wife, who was horrified at the prospect of being a mayor's consort. To explain the job, she gets involved at QMC with the families of those where children died. You need a lot of chutzpah for that, don't you? Well, because she's been doing it for a long time, she'll lecture to an audience of 200 to 300 people. No problem. But one-to-one things on little social events, she feels slightly uncomfortable, but she'd love to enjoy it. She says, and I've got to give her the last word, he says, I'll use her words. She says, you councillors are an oddball bunch, so different, but I can see you all trying to do the best that can be done, even if you're approaching going from different directions. So, thanks to one and all of you oddballs, it's been an honour and privilege to be with you. And my best and warmest wishes go to the new administration. Second is the leaders' report. It's a shame Dave's not here tonight, but I can't do his voice, his rough voice. And he says, here's just a brief summary of important events I've got here. Important events during 2018. One of the major events affecting the administration of the town clerk was the resignation of our previous town clerk, Margaret Downey. She'd been a town clerk for over 20 years, and none of the council's experiences of the process involved in appointing the new town clerk. Eventually, a successor was appointed in the person of Isabel Greenhouse. I don't know how to pronounce that. Greenhouse. Oh, we just call it Izzy. Inevitably, this would take time for everything to be in place and meant an overlap in staffing. Isabel's brought a wealth of experience in office management, and already she's brought in a number of changes in the administration which has greatly improved the efficiency of the office. While not having Margaret's vast political knowledge, Isabel is coming on in leaps and bounds in this area, already making an important number of important contacts with neighbouring councils. She will be a great asset to the town council and its efficient running. These events highlighted to me the importance of every organisation to have some sort of succession planning. During the year, the Helpful Bureau took over the office originally occupied by the Broxton Council on a long-term lease. This was not only useful to the community in helping a worthy local organisation, but also ensures a better use of the Carnegie Centre and brings in extra finance to the council. And it helped alleviate the extra costs incurred during the change in town clerk. Work on the neighbourhood place, I think, rather than plan rather than place, continued apace, and now with the assistance of Ken Maffin, our consultant, and the steering group, in particular Trees and Needham, who did excellent work in looking into footpaths and improvements of the environment and town's heritage. It is now virtually ready for submission. The only reason for the delay due to the problems Broxton have had with the submission of their local plan. Once this has been sorted out, then our plan should be submitted. It's obviously down to the new administration to carry this out with a matter of urgency. Aldi is finally going ahead. By the end of the year, Stapleford should have a supermarket. It does look a bit like a kit at the moment, doesn't it? The refurbished cemetery bell is now installed and working. This was supported by the Town Council, who paid for the refurbishment of the bell itself, as an important asset to the local heritage. There have been numerous consultations with HS2 and its effects on the future of the town. I feel that at present very little concrete information has emerged that will be of benefit to the town. Doesn't stop us from trying. HS2 plans seem to change drastically with every meeting. The new administration needs to continue pressing HS2 to ensure that if we have it, that we get the maximum benefit of the town and the minimum amount of disruption during the construction, not destruction. Otherwise, the town's economy will suffer still further. The 100 Years Remembrance Service attracted even more people than ever and was ably organised by the town clerk. While the finances over this last year have been a struggle with the various changes in our income, the rent of the old cash office has gone a long way towards balancing this out. Our increased future income, efficiency and stability has ensured the budget for the next year should be more predictable. Again, for the third year running, we are able with confidence to set a zero increase in council tax for 2019 to 20. Whilst our allotments are not at 100% occupancy, they're still quite popular and we do have a fairly high occupancy, although they are a high cost to maintain. At present, I don't envisage any major costs over the forthcoming year, but one can never tell. I hope I've included all the items of major importance. Apologies if I missed out any items that people may have been thought important. I wish the new administration all the best and trust they work together for the benefit of the people of Stapleford. Peace and love, that's what you say. Dave Pearson. He's not here to thank, but I'd like to thank him. Being being leader of council is a bit of a poison chalice, really. You attract all the criticism from about the council. I'm from within it. You're a magnet for it, aren't you? And you have to act at times in a little bit disciplinarian. So you don't do it if you want to make friends and influence people. But he was the other person that got me into being a councillor because not applying with pints down the road, but also with his intelligence and deep knowledge of things. He could pick holes in documents that were sent to us, and he could summarise subjects excellently and make them understandable for everybody. So thanks, Dave, for that. He is the epitome of never judge a book by its cover, if you know him. The third report is from David in the audience there. Mr. Brindle.
Honourable Mayor and Mr Mayor, Councillor, ladies and gentlemen, this was going to be a speech of 100 pages, but I was surprised by 2 minutes. In 2005, a group called the Digging Community Project, or allotment project, actually came to the Town Council and asked if they could have a piece of land. The councillors decided a piece of land at Albany would be ideal for them. They put their words on paper and then they put a plan together. And since then, for 14 years, the Digging allotment has done a brilliant job throughout the community. It not only uses more volunteers to actually run it, plus their funding comes from around the Broxville area itself, plus the National Lottery. I think they're the only group that's had 3 National Lottery applications that have actually received, and they've actually received money for it. Now they're spreading their wings, because when they're spreading their wings into having more organisations, into wildlife, butterflies, you name it, and that's got to be good. Now the people that go down to the allotment at Albany can go on you can go and visit if you wish, and I hope everyone will, on a Saturday morning at 10. Just ring the bell on the gate, someone will come and open it for you. And the people who do this work can't be praised enough. This past year, they came to us and asked the Town Council if they could have a piece more land. So, obviously the council thought about it, we looked into it, and this piece of land, plot 62, which they were wanted, isn't the greatest plot of land in the world. It gets all the water coming down the hill from the allotment. So we said that the councillors decided that yes, plot 62 they could have. We're working on it already. We're going to have fruit trees, apple trees, pear trees. When you go and have a look round, you'll find they grow grapes and they grow vegetables. And all these, most of the vegetables and fruit actually are given free to the people that need it in the community itself of Stapleford. So they have done a super job. We don't charge them rent, but we have to decide that we have to charge for water. And that's the only charge the Town Council makes on the project. And as I said earlier, if you get a chance to go, and I'm sure you will, go. It's well worth going to see. And I hope it will continue to keep growing. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
Okay, we'll move on now to our town meeting. In this agenda, first of all, we must have apologies for absences.
David Collins from Jangle.
Chair, I'm not. Should we really have a minute silence for Chris? That's
I should have thought.
Yeah.
Yes.
I should have thought of that. My apologies.
Yeah. So, well, everybody's new, and everyone's like that. So I just thought it might be appropriate, really. Well, then,
So before we start the meeting, we have a minute's prayer for Chris. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The next item is the election of town mayor, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, councillors, this is a really unusual situation in that we've only got 2/3 of our normal council here to either be to represent the parties or represent who can only represent 2/3 of the town. So that has legal and constitutional implications. Now, I'm sure even the oldest councillors here can't remember a time like it. So it's slightly different to what we normally do. Advice has been taken by the town clerk off Sue Rodden, and we've spoke to her on Wednesday morning, and this is her answer. The mayor must be elected as the first item of business at that annual meeting, so that must be done. Members still need to decide, however, whether to elect the mayor for the 4 years with the reduced membership of council, or agree to a temporary mayor on an informal understanding that that mayor resigns as chairman at the next STC meeting following the delayed board election, when the agreed successor can then be elected for the remainder of the year. So, as I say, really unusual circumstances. I can only advise you on that first bit on the mayor, because it'll be up to the next chair to advise you on the rest of the meeting. Okay. So, shall we have... so we could have a vote then on so if you can think about it if you like, or do you want to ask any questions or understand?
Chair, well, I've got one. I mean, first of all, we know it's an unusual circumstances, and God rest Chris and all that, but I think for us to move forward, regardless of what happens in the election up in the south east, I think for us to stabilise what we are as a group and working together, I think if everyone's in favour, I think we should just get on with the mayor now.
We must have a mayor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just get on with it. And if everyone's in favour, that we just, once the mayor's elected now, that's the way it stops. Because we're unaware of what the representation will be, right? I mean, I'm supposed to, I'm the only serving councillor here anyway. Monterey. I know you're looking at me. But on the town council, I think it'd be more beneficial for the town if we move forward that way, because a lot of the people are new to this as well, and if we're in a position that they might not want or be forced into, I mean, I think we've got 2 candidates that seem to want it, so all I'm suggesting for keep everything right until everybody's bedded in, just go ahead with it now.
Absolutely correct. There's no problem about having a mayor, it's just whether we want a temporary one to the next meeting or a full year.
I'd say full one.
So, shall we take a vote for
Yeah.
that?
Just ask the question first.
Certainly.
Is there
So what your name, sorry?
Ella Kearney.
Hello.
Is there a precedent in law? What is the legal implications of a temporary?
Yeah, she's a legal officer, so she was able to get it, and basically it is all enshrined, probably in the Representation of the People Act. So you have to have a mayor, that's the law. The only thing you have a choice on is whether you want the full year for the next mayor, or a temporary mayor until the next meeting, and then that mayor is then ratified.
And they resign.
They resign, and then we have the process.
Okay. So there's nothing written in law that says we have to.
No,
Have
we
to have a
advise to, you've got to have a mayor.
No,
With
to
that.
have a temporary.
The advice is to elect a temporary mayor who could resign at the next meeting, then have a full council election for the mayor there, because it's your decision. So that's what I'm saying.
So, what we'll do is we'll take a vote for full year first, is everyone clear?
That's correct, yeah.
So, so all those in favour for a full year for the next meeting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All those against? And one against. So 7. I suppose we still have to ask for a vote for the second option, but
The reason I'm against it is that I don't know, whoever we're going to elect, I don't know who, it's the first time being here.
understandably.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
You don't
I know.
I know you do.
Just on that point, it wouldn't matter if this was the first meeting and everybody was here, you wouldn't know anybody either, would you? So you
No, but
make
generally
it
logical.
all the seats were taken.
Absolutely, because you could have a totally new administration of them, nobody ever knew each other, and you'd still have to.
I mean, I might be voting somebody that everybody knows he's the scum of the town. I mean, I don't know, do I?
I hope we're all upstanding. Right,
Can I just say,
So-
I think it would be very messy to ask somebody for a mayor for a month or so. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we need to start moving.
So, I won't take the second vote because it's obvious that's what we've gone for. We've gone for that option. Is everybody happy with that, or does everyone want to have a vote for the second option? Right, the vote's done on
I'm
that.
not going to vote
So,
for this
ladies-
yet. I don't know.
Councillors, I must have your nominations. Sorry, well, one second.
It goes to the top off if you know you don't get a thing of the...
I have no new
Right then, so I must have a nomination, please, and the reason why they want to.
Well, I propose Councillor Ray Darley because one, he's done it before. I don't mean it that way. As Eileen's just said, for us moving on, we need to stabilise and get like the figurehead there now. And as hopefully the new councillors come in and give us more ideas and we all get to know each other better, it stabilises us both for a couple of years. And obviously Ray, everybody knows him, he's a very friendly face and he's well respected around Stapleford anyway, which helps us as well. Until the new ones feel, they feel that they want to have a go, and that ain't a problem, is it? Because some people never want to be mayor, some people it suits them. If you understand what I mean, Bob. Some people it suits, some people it don't. You want a bad mayor.
Thank you very much. we need a seconder for that
Second.
head level. So name
Ella
yourself.
Kearney.
And why would you? What's your reasons for?
Well, I've known Ray for a couple of years now, and as John said, he's very approachable, he's very amiable, and just, harking back to your speech a little bit earlier, that's the sort of thing that we obviously need from what you've said, somebody that's a bit more approachable, and I know you do a brilliant job of it, because I can remember when he was the mayor previously.
That's
So.
Are there any other nominations for mayor?
No, not a nomination, but could I just say as well that I think Ray Darby would be an excellent choice.
Have you another third?
I've known him for years.
Are there any other? Yeah. And you need to please say that was Eileen.
Yes,
So are there any other nominations for mayor? In that case, it's to a vote again. All those in favour of Councillor Darby becoming mayor? We seem to have a full house there. In that case, I won't ask for against or abstentions because we have a full house. So it's my pleasure, Mr. Darby, to offer the post of mayor to you. Will you accept? We have a short recess while Ray signs the acceptance book, and then outside there I'll hand over the chain of office to him, and then you apply to your new mayor. Thanks very much.
Thank you. So, yes. So,
Okay. I, Raymond Hayden Darby, having been elected to the office of Mayor, that's right now,
Yeah.
for the council, of Council of Stapleford. I'm filling this in as we go along. Hereby declare that I will take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability.
It's 17th of May. It says 19th. It's an old book, so cross that out. 20. We'll put two over. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ray. Right. So we want to have photographs of Ray receiving the chain.
Incidentally, everybody, I've known Chris for 30 odd years. I've attended the same church as him, at St Andrews on Anthill Street, and I'm the longest serving councillor there, believe it or not. It's almost 30 years. Okay, so I just thought I'd just add that in. Chris was a very great friend.
Two dogs down there. Was it? No, it's Jen. Yeah, she knows.
No, it's a Margaret Ibsen taxes and things that, you know, it was about 21 years ago. She don't drive.
I think some positive things.
Mark, you were much closer to things. It's like being in Cambridge and stuff. What's going on? What's lost point of expectation? With the screws.
Oh, we remembered me.
Yeah, remember you.
Yeah, stop for a quick chat.
Not long.
Yeah, to our chat. Yeah. And it's on don't with our chat.
Who's got something for me to tell them?
Good evening everyone again, and let's get on with the business, I think. That's the easiest comment I could make, I think. Okay, thank you very much. Right, we carry on with the agenda. It's the next item is to elect a deputy mayor, but we do have advice from the elect Izzy.
Well, basically, the advice from Sue Rodden at Roxham Borough Council is for the councillors to elect a temporary deputy mayor who could resign at the next meeting, then have a full council election for the new mayor. But once again, it's your decision. In the same way, so you can have someone for the permanent year or temporary. So it's your decision. So we need to just decide now.
Okay, so we need to decide whether we're going to have. It's a similar situation to the mayor,
Yeah.
so consequently, I think it would be in order for personally
Yeah.
to do the right thing.
I think if we've elected a mayor,
if
we
we
should
could-
just
Yes, if we could have
permanent.
vote an election. Sorry, if we could have election. Sorry, a vote for the temporary mayor on the thing.
Show your hands.
Show your hands, please.
Which
I'm sorry.
No.
What? I'm not doing that.
Okay. Now for the full year, the permanent mayor.
That's the one, isn't it?
The deputy mayor. Sorry.
The
That's
full year for the deputy mayor election.
that's carried. That's carried. Fully carried. Right. Thank you very much. Now we need the nominations for the deputy mayor.
Jess Howell. I'd like to nominate Councillor McLean for deputy. I believe his hard work and dedication to the residents of Stapleford is undeniable, and I think he'd be superb for that. And he's got a no-nonsense approach to public service, and we can all learn from it. I think he'd stand very well.
Okay, do you have a second?
I'll second that, yeah. Again, I think
Can you just remind me your name again?
I think he's earned his place. Obviously, he helped Chris Rice driving him round on his mayor duties. I think he's earned his rightful place. You know, he does all his work in the community, and it's only fair that he, gets a shot.
Excellent. Okay, if I could invite Robert, obviously the motion is carried, and I'd like to invite Richard to. Oh, we need to vote. Sorry, we need to vote for the nomination now, please.
So
All in favour?
We gave a Richard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes. Anyone against?
All against?
Against? No abstention.
No, it's any nominations.
Is there any other nominations?
For deputy mayor?
Can I say why I was against it? In case you think I'm being funny. He's in the council, he's doing a good job in the council, he's doing a lot of other work. Will he have time to be deputy mayor here, as well as all the other things that he's doing?
I think he's quite capable.
That's why I didn't vote.
That's all right.
I wanted to give you reasons.
That's all right.
I didn't want you to think that was being bitchy.
That's why no one voted me, because I'm closer.
Yeah.
I've got to ask, Richard, would you accept the post?
I best that's
As
not
deputy
an
mayor?
answer. Yeah, the boss said yes.
Yeah, you've got to.
Thank you, everyone.
I understand. Yes, I'm the same.
I'm not in charge, don't believe me.
Okay, I'd like to invite Richard to come up and accent the deputy mayor's. Just come
Yeah, we'll take photos, that's fine.
It's like being in the police station.
Okay. Appreciate me. Okay, well done, Richard.
Thank you.
Please follow.
Thank you very much.
Right,
Oh, we can put the box as well.
yeah, that's the
Basically now. So any declarations of interest?
okay. Now I've just got to ask you: is there any declaration of interest?
Rockstone.
Rockstone, yeah.
Broxton.
Broxton, yes, it's got a few Broxton.
So can we hand up the Broxton, please?
Please.
Richard? Or John? You're not Jane?
No, I'm not.
That's habits, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's not. Okay, thank you very much. One of your thoughts?
I'm not councillor now.
Oh,
No,
sorry,
no.
yeah, no, all right, okay.
I still am.
Okay.
Item 6.
Yes, item 6. To appoint the committee for 2019-2020.
And the advice is, my advice is that you can't do these until the next meeting when we've got a leader. So that's that one. Okay, is that okay with everybody? That we wait till the next meeting to appoint the
That's the
committees?
advice from the board.
Yeah, well, that makes common sense because we don't know what's
Yeah.
what.
Okay,
Not a lot.
so the next one is the same as,
Right, item 7 is to appoint the town council representatives to the outline bodies.
And the
there
advice
again,
is the
we do
same.
have the same advice for,
wait till the next meeting.
yeah, wait for the next meeting. Okay. Item 8 is to know the appointment of group leaders, and there again, the advice is from the council to do it when we do have. So,
I would have thought we'd need to do that now because it actually worries me. I know it's not long to go and it's only going to be temporary until the next meeting, but I'm not having to go at anybody for that. It leaves the council without a leader, and I don't think that's right. I do think, even if it's just temporary till the next meeting,
yeah, I appreciate.
obviously it's not me, I'm the leader of the independent.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, but
Do you know what I mean? I just think it leaves us in a position where we haven't got a leader of the council. I don't think that's right.
well, this is the advice from Broxton.
Yeah.
He said,
You've got to accept through.
Oh yeah, no, it's right, it's right. I'm just
Yeah.
saying my concerns is, it just doesn't sound
It
right.
says leader to decide.
Yeah, and I think that was the advice from the current leader, the ex-leader, when I went through the agenda with him. That was his advice, is that we wait.
Yeah.
Is that advice or is it illegal? That's what I'm asking.
No, just advice.
So we don't have to accept that, because I personally think we should have a leader, even if it's just till the next meeting, then we've got someone in charge.
The majority group leader will become the leader of the council,
What's any advice?
unless otherwise decided.
You can't ask somebody to do it for a month or so and then add another somebody this else.
I mean, it leaves the council without, do you see what I mean? It leaves the council without a leader, and we've just gone through.
We've just gone through the same with the mayor chair, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a mayor as a figure.
Well, I mean, the thing is, for the month that we're going to require any decisions being made, it's got to be the mayor and the deputy mayor. That's
I'm happy with that. I'll say yes to that.
okay.
No, but can I have a note in a minute, though? I'm not being funny, I just don't think it's right that we're left without a leader because it just worries me, that's all.
Okay, do we need to vote for that?
Well, Chair, just
whether we've got to wait or...
Probably a point of order, right, is that, fair enough, David done well. Is it advice from Sue Robin or is it advice from David Pearson? That's what I want to
So it was
clarify.
the previous leader.
So it's the previous leader that's advised us.
Yes. When he was the leader, we discussed it. Because we went
Is
through
it
the
from
agenda.
Sue as
But
well?
we aren't it can come from Sue, but we aren't calling David. Didn't we have a period where they kept chopping and changing leaders all the way through? So again, I'll go back to what I'm trying to say, and I'm not bothered, because I don't want to be leader, right? I'm just trying to speak common sense from Stapleford's point of view. If we're going to have the same thing again, now, we don't know what's going to happen with the election. Yes, after a year it might have to change because the majority might be this way, but just to stabilise it again, right, as a unit and working together, I think we should appoint a leader. And that's the way I feel. I'm not sure, I think we're the majority group or
If you propose...
I'll propose that.
Do we have to have a vote on it?
Oh, yes, I think so, yes.
Okay, so John, if that's a proposal, do you want to second it? Okay, right. Can we have a vote on it, please? All in favour? Right.
And then, the rest of them.
This is to appoint a leader now.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Appoint a leader now.
Until the next meeting, isn't it?
So until the next...
Yeah.
To the next meeting. To the next meeting.
It's only for 6 weeks or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just for 6 weeks.
So who's
This
the
one.
one to nominate?
Well, that's what we've got next.
Because it seems like it's going to be a full council.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And against?
Oh, sorry.
How many against?
3 against.
And 5 for.
Okay. And 5, 6.
6 for.
6,
5,
6.
4, 5,
3, 1, 2.
8,
Yeah.
5 and 3.
That's 8. Yeah.
So now, it's
Okay.
going to be
Right, so we have a... That
to leader.
yes, that motion is carried. That motion is accepted. Do we have, can we have a vote then? Or a nomination for the leader?
I'm the leader of the independent because it just makes so I'm happy with that. So who's your leader?
We all want a leader of the
That's a
council.
nomination for
A
the
nomination
leader of
for
the
the leader of the council.
Well, I'll nominate Ellen.
Ella.
Ella.
council.
I don't know.
Do we
I'll nominate Ellen.
have a second then?
I am second Ella, yeah.
And so Ryan.
That's it, yes.
And
Right, well, we vote for that, please. All in favour of Ella being the leader of the council? 1, 2, 3, and...
Temporary.
Temporarily, yeah.
And then without the next meeting.
And then they'll resign at the next meeting.
and then
I'll read that
four
all.
people voting on it.
Okay?
And
1, 2, 3, 4,
four.
4 people against.
People against? 1.
And abstentions.
And 1 abstention.
Okay.
Get a new suit for 6 weeks.
Start calling them
That
Johnny
motion is
or-
carried. So Ella,
Okay. You become the temporary.
you become the temporary leader
Until the next meeting when you will resign.
Yeah,
until
yeah.
June, yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
right.
Okay.
It will be.
Okay.
Have you got that?
Yes, and
That was-
shoot on with another.
No, what's the
Item
next
9.
one?
Right, item 9 is to appoint the internal
Just to note,
auditors, which is Kat Walker.
they've been appointed.
Oh, they've been
She's
appointed.
doing the
Okay, that's fine, okay. Right, I don't know where item 10 has gone. But,
Oh, sorry. It's because I started something else in. So we're going to just not item 11.
Item 11, there's no item 10. To note the appointment of signatories of the banks. Have we got the signatures?
We've got signatures at the moment, and my advice is that we can't do these until the next meeting. We currently do have signatories, so we are running the business. Okay.
Okay. Right, 12, item 12 is general data protection regulation. To note information, read general data protection regulation. GDPR. All information given out to councillors
And then welcome.
in the welcome packs. Okay, so I don't know what you see for welcome packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Excellent.
Right, item 13. Launch of the best kept garden competition. So that was.
We've already launched it.
Yep,
Can I make a request that the mayor goes round on his bike when he judges them all, to carry on from what the previous mayor did?
What, in life shorts?
If Ray wants to put like shorts on, then he can go for it.
And you'd be right behind him.
No.
Right,
Sure.
forms available for closing date. The closing date is the 1st of July. Judging date is set with the new mayor. Awards evening, 20th of September 2019, of course. You're right, and I think that's all the things that
You would like to...
yes, yes. Right, I think that only these ways to invite, as the town mayor, of course, officially invite members of the public who are resident in Stapleford and the guests to
Enter the competition.
enter. It's not to enter the competition. Just residents of Stapleford.
Members of the public or residents of the yes.
So it's members of the public who are resident in Stapleford who are duly invited to enter the garden competition. Okay. Item 14 is documents, calendar of meetings, document 1. Members are asked to note the calendar of meetings for the coming considerable year.
And just on that note, can I just say that in your documents, there was a HS2 meeting. I put that on so that you put dates in diaries, but it's not for the public, it's just for the town council initially, and then after that, I think there should hopefully be some information for the public, we'll follow that through. So that's just for your information. And then the next document.
Right, item 15 is the mayor's engagements, document 2.
That's a good question. Sorry.
I'm interested in that.
That's great. Sorry. You know the HS2 meeting, it's a council meeting, it's not a public gallery, isn't it? It's not a closed meeting, is it?
No, it's not closed.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I thought that's what it sounded like when you said that. That was all.
I'm sorry, it's
It's
not.
okay.
No, actually.
Members of the public can
I
come
think
and sit there,
we
just
should
while joining.
I'm going to double check because we've had lots of people coming in saying, inquiring about it, and lots of people want to know. So it might turn out to be a really big meeting and it's not the appropriate time for that. So I think it's going to be just for councillors. But I will double check.
I don't think we've had a meeting like that. You can't not, how do you not let people in? We're here to serve the
I
people.
will double check with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have, I will. I think you won't go all in here for that, to be fair. I think it's more sensible. I know what Richard's saying. I know it's more sensible if we didn't have all the public here, because last time when we had it at the Avon Centre, and I'll say it properly, they went all morning because there was about 100 people there.
Yeah.
Right? And then we declined a number of offers to come and speak to us anyway. We declined that, so I think, speaking logically, we might as well have the first meeting, but it needs to be, it needs to be in a better venue if they're willing to come and talk to us again.
Yeah.
Because you won't get everyone in here.
Well, the invitation was to come and talk to the councillors.
Are you expecting hundreds to come?
Well, there was 100 last time.
Well, was there a special thing that was happening at the time?
Well, there was giving us a load of waffle about HS2, wasn't there?
Yeah, well, that was well, there won't be that now, will there?
Probably.
Because
Well, it did say, probably there was.
some members of the public might like to come and hear what's going on their council.
No, they didn't want, I think they didn't want members of the public there that time. And they definitely won't want to.
It's Joe's been
Joe, sorry. I'm getting one.
What do you call me?
Sorry, Joe.
That's all right, yeah. No, I feel that if a member of public wants to...
I totally agree, but last time Joe, they went all morning.
Yeah,
They
but
wouldn't start answering the questions.
So that was one thing. So the rest of the public's going to be penalised and not allowed
No,
to
Joe,
go.
no, last time HS2
Yeah.
went all morning
But-
and refused to have more meetings with us because the public were there.
Yeah.
So
That
what,
approach.
are you having HS2 this
So
time?
this.
Well, it's him who comes in again
This was all.
and talks the same
This was
thing.
a check.
Mm.
We'll go
Well, you're here, Joe, anyway, so
If there's
you
any
listen
question,
to
we'll
the
let
same.
you know. So it's corrected that.
Okay.
I feel that the public should know what is going on.
Oh, we have that. All I'm saying,
Yeah.
so what I'm trying to say is, Joe, this place isn't big enough.
No,
Sorry,
this, well, then we'll have to
Excuse me.
move it to another place.
excuse me, can I just have one meeting, please?
Yeah.
Right. There's been a slight amendment to the meeting,
Calendar.
the calendar. Next annual meeting, council meeting, it's at item 14.
Yeah, it's on
Item
the,
16, date of the next meeting, it's a 14th of June. I take it that's
day after.
the day after the election of the southwest. Is it? No, it's southeast.
That's what we're just saying, we've changed it,
Oh, okay, right.
so that it fits in with the next day of the meeting and
So is it the 21st of June?
it's the
That's 28th.
It's going to be the
day
14th.
after the meeting.
It's going to be the election.
14th.
The day after the election,
The
yeah?
day after the election, so we've got the opposite.
So instead of the 28th of June, it's the 14th
Yes,
of June.
yes. And then I'll correct it on the notice board, it says.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's in.
So,
That's
the next one.
That's the next meeting.
okay.
Oh, what time is that for?
That's
All at 7 o'clock.
All at
It's
7
7 o'clock.
You will be notified. You'll be notified. Okay. Right, it's now
1957.
Get the full calendar and then-
1957.
We'll declare the meeting over.
So you can.
Thank you very much. Here's tea and coffee and cake.